Here's the video clip. I've never seen the video clip. Yeah? Yeah, it's Merrick. Yeah. How come? I don't know. It's really weird. But the way they will see it, it's not correct. Yeah. Yep. I usually start 5 minutes. Yep. And I'm going to assume I'm the one starting the video. I didn't even know this video. So yes. All right then.
What's the different color?
It was for the map. It was no.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thank
Good
you.
to see you. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh. 8 minutes for that.
Everyone, it's Sam. I want to thank everyone on again. Call the meeting to order. Welcome everyone to our November board meeting in person and online. So hopefully we have more people able to access everything. If we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
The United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I know we're going to do board appreciation in one moment, but I just wanted to just take a minute very quickly. Welcome everyone. Thank you for coming out. You know, especially now that it's darker earlier, so it feels like it's midnight. So thank you so much. I'd like to first of all, election day. I'd like to just thank our staff for doing a great job in all the schools for polling. A little bit difficult, especially with masks, no masks, different things, and a lot of people going back and forth through the building. So Thank you to everyone that was there, administration, and most importantly, the facilities team. They did a great job. So I just want to thank you for that. And parent-teacher conferences were the same day. I was here. Thank you to the teachers. I know it was not easy because some parents, we did Zoom, some others we did in person. But I thought, having the option of doing both was great. And I did in person, and very happy. Came here, in and out, great. Everyone was happy, and polling didn't interfere. So again, I think that was a successful day for our district. So thank you to everyone and parents for being very supportive and coming out. We're going to, when we go on to our business tonight, you'll see that we did secure district, we secured $200,000 from the County of Nassau County for playground equipment. So I'll let Dr. Siniak talk about that in her remarks, but I just want to make it a point to thank legislator Kevin, who couldn't be here tonight. I spoke with him this afternoon. I met with him, Dr. Siniak met with him, and he was the one that got us those funds, and we're working on other funds, but he did get us $200,000, and he did it very quickly. I mean, it happened very quickly, and he was there. He did secure our security money a few years ago, so I think it's important that you guys know that he's there for us, and he did a great job. So he will definitely be there when we do any ribbon cuttings, and hopefully, maybe there's some more funds again. You never know. Board Appreciation Night. I want to thank my fellow colleagues for their service. Again, everyone, we work together. We might not always agree, but I think that's a good thing to have differences of opinion. And thank you for your service. And they're always available. Everyone, very responsive. We're doing things every day. So thank you, folks. It really is a pleasure to serve with everyone. And thank you to our PTAs. Did not expect anything like this tonight, but thank you very much, too much, and we all appreciate that. So thank you to all of our PTAs, and we appreciate it very much. It shouldn't be board appreciation. I mean, I can speak on behalf of the board. We appreciate you coming here, taking the time every month. It's not easy. Everyone has a lot of things to do: sports, homework, religion, outside activities. So thank you for coming here, and we like it when you come. We actually, it's nice not to talk to an empty room. So, thank you. And it's been a tough few months, year and a half. So we're all in it together. It's going to get better. We're going forward to the holidays, and little by little, it's getting back to normal. So thank you for that. And lastly, I just want to thank Veterans Day is coming up on Thursday. So I just want to thank any of our families that have veterans and families, and thank you for your service. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Siniak tonight. All yours.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome. As Board President Megan Ryan said, it is Board Appreciation Evening. I'd like to say a few words about the Board of Education before we move forward with our presentation of our students. As Superintendent of North Merrick School District, it is truly my honor to introduce the North Merrick Board members. Megan Ryan, President, Stephen Ella, Vice President, Trustees Tracy Miller, Ed Corona, who could not be here this evening, Robert Crowley, Kathy Moran, and Mary Keene. As we reflect on this challenging school year, I would like to personally thank the Board of Education for all the leadership and support that they have provided throughout the COVID-19 crisis. There were times throughout the school year where we needed to pull together to completely rethink the way we do business, from instruction to food service to technology to maintenance and operations. Their ongoing support to our administrators, faculty, and support staff helped North Merrick succeed and go beyond. This job is one of the most personally demanding forms of public service. In addition to spending time preparing for and participating in monthly meetings, they also devote a great deal of time to understanding education issues, laws, and listening to the concerns of parents, teachers, and community members. In fact, they never are completely off the job. Additionally, the board helps make decisions that have a tremendous impact on our children's future. These responsibilities require the unselfish giving of time and service. Tonight is a night to reflect and thank the Board of Education for the time they serve to our community. Please join me with giving them a round of applause. Now, what better to follow that with but our students?
This song is for those who inspire us today, who always lend a helping hand to help show us the way. This song is for those who see their students through the tough times in their lives. For that we say thank you. You have made a difference. You have shaped our minds. You have changed the world, a child at a time. You have always been there in everything you do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. This song is for those who heard the silent cries, who stepped in to wipe the tears from the children's eyes. For those who gave us a safe place to grow, a place for us to call our home, forever we will know. You have made a difference, you have shaped our minds, you have changed the world, a child at a time. You have always been there in everything you do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. This song is for those who taught us right from wrong, who taught us much more than their craft to help our minds grow strong. This song is for those who guide us through and through, so that we can make a life without we say thank you. You have made a difference. You have changed our minds. You have changed the world. A child at a time.
Wasn't that amazing? Thank you so much for everyone that participated, especially Ms. Talbot, who spent the time putting this together for our board. But it is a lovely video, and who better to star but our children.
Thank you very much. And there should be a parent and student appreciation, I think, night, because we're not here if it wasn't for you. So thank you. Very nice. Thank you.
I think we have some of our staff that would like to come up. I don't know if there's an order, but first come, first serve.
And man.
Finally.
No. Neil's not here.
On behalf of the North Merrick Faculty Association, the Civil Service Employees Association, the North Merrick Faculty Paraprofessional Unit, and the North Merrick Supervisory Unit, we are presenting in your honor as a thank you a check or donation to the school libraries, all 3 libraries, for resources for our children.
Thank you.
And Mr. Allen has something he would like to say as well.
I'll take that.
That was a lovely video, it really was. So on behalf of our units, Elizabeth Andrew said, volunteers do not necessarily have the time, they have the heart. The task of a Board of Education trustee is not an easy one. It is one that requires energy, patience, and devotion. Countless hours are spent working with the other Board of Ed trustees and central administration to charter the course for the North Merrick school community. The time you all spend in this role takes you away from your family and other professional responsibilities. The sense of giving, of volunteering to support the children of this community does not go unnoticed. Your work for the children of North Merrick really does help make a difference in their lives. It takes a person of heart, of commitment, to volunteer their time to help their community. Appreciation and thanks are not normally part of this equation. So this evening, in honor of School Board Recognition Week, we want to offer our gratitude to all of you for the work you do to help our schools grow. Thank you, Board of Ed members.
I was remiss in my remarks earlier. I just wanted to also mention the Halloween parades last week. I'm bringing back to Halloween. They were great. So nice to be, back with the kids, and thank you to the PTA also for the fall festivals. Very, very nice, and the children are very happy. The parents are happy. So just wanted to thank you again. All right, we're gonna thank you, Mr. Merrick, and Commissioner for everything, and the lovely video, Dr. Sneed. All right, moving on, we'll get some business done tonight. We have a approval of the routine approvals. We have a motion to approve 4A, B, and C. Motion by Mr. Crowley, second by Ms. Miller. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries unanimously. And we're going to go into public comments tonight. I'll read them quickly. Our guidelines for public comments. Any person wishing to make comments or raise questions shall fill out a comment card. After you're called, come forward to the microphone and state your full name. All comments or questions shall be directed to me or Dr. Siniak, or administration will do our best, as always, to immediately respond to these questions. Out of courtesy and fairness to the rest of the audience, each person will be limited to no more than 3 minutes, not to exceed 30-minute session. Public discussion with respect to confidential matters, of course, is prohibited. I know we have two. Actually, one, sorry, Ms. McKish, Chris, here you go.
Yes, on the agenda. Good evening. I know you have it in the agenda, just a very brief breakdown, but can you give us some amounts of the grants when we got them, and if there are any new grants in the pipeline? I know Ms. Ryan was mentioning the playground, but if you could just go into a little more detail, I think it's really important.
I'm going to defer to Dr. Siniak for that. I am going to mention too, like I said, legislator Kevin did secure us $200,000, and we are, Dr. Siniak and I have been in talks and meetings with our Senator Brooks, trying to match that as well. So we're making it public tonight. If Senator Brooks or anyone in the public is watching on our live stream, we'd like you to match it or go higher. That's
I need to have a bidding war. There you go. I think it's important to know the amounts. I think that it's good to have it on record exactly what the amount is. Thank you.
So yes, we're very excited. We received, we went out and really searched for grants over the last 3 years. And right before COVID, we were fortunate enough to receive a grant for certain projects. And those projects include the corridor ceiling and lighting replacement at Old Mill Road Elementary School, which was about $100,000. The replacement of window balances at Camp Elementary School, which is about $100,000, as well as security upgrades, which were $50,000 per school for a total of $150,000. When COVID hit, these projects went on hold. but we're happy to report that now we can move forward with them. And we've done our due diligence getting the environmental clearance to be able to move forward. And now we also just received, as Ms. Ryan was explaining, $200,000 from Mr. McKevitt, Legislator McKevitt. We just keep knocking on his door for playgrounds. So we're hoping that Senator Brooks, as we said, matches or goes higher. So we're awaiting word from his office. And we're hoping for another $200,000 to $300,000 from him. So I guess altogether, I didn't really tally it up that fast. I'm thinking 152, 350, about $550,000 right now. Thank you, Mrs. McDade, for checking my math. And I would like to say $850,000 at the next meeting, so we shall see.
Great. Ms. Stoll, Kim Stoll?
Hi,
Welcome.
I just have a couple of questions. There's kind of like 5 parts to answer, I guess, at the end. Okay. In regards to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, when does the agreement expire? And when are all the current and future requirements of the district under this grant? Like, what are the requirements that we are to get the money that we're getting? Also, have the metrics or the benchmarks to end the mandates have been provided? Have they been provided? That's number 2. Number 3, have any of you been threatened to comply with these? We want to know if you've been threatened by government or the Board of Ed, people in charge of you, to comply with these mandates. Also, and finally, when and if they mandate the vaccine for the kids, will you comply or will you fight back? What will you be willing to do at that time? Because we haven't fought against the mask mandates, and I think as a community, we need to know what you're willing to do for our children when and if they do that.
Right, first of all, American Rescue Plan, our attorney's not here tonight. I'm not going to speak to that. And again, this is public comment, so, but I am going to, I have no problem engaging and speaking, but Neil actually is out ill tonight, so I'm not going to speak to that. We're going to speak to that at the next meeting, and we'll make a note, Ms. Long, and we will definitely put that back. And we'll address that with the benchmarks, because we need our attorney there to speak to that. As far as if we were been threatened to comply with any mandates, I want to open this up to all. I want everyone on the record here. I have not been threatened to comply with anything. I don't think any of our board members have been threatened. No one has been threatened, but we do need to comply with laws in order to get our funding and in order to keep our schools open. So, and have our superintendent here. So that's going to go on the record saying that. And if anyone disagrees with me, I would like our board members, if you have any other opinions, please, this is an open discussion. Please feel free. I don't want to read about this later on online that someone disagrees with me. We have to comply with the law, and I'm a lawyer, and we have fiduciary duties as board members to comply with the law so our students can come to school every day. As far as, I think the last one was mandates for the vaccine. There is no mandate for vaccine, so I think that's a moot point right now. Let me finish. We did fight. We did. We wrote letters, which is, again, what we could do because it was a law. But as far as a vaccine, I'll open it up to, let me finish, please. It's courteous. I'll open up to the other board members if you all have an opinion. Personal opinions. I think the mask mandate and the vaccine mandate, I think it's different. It's a little bit different. I think when you're talking about a vaccine mandate, it's different than wearing a mask in school. But I'm going to open up to all my board members because I don't want to be the only one speaking tonight. And I'll be happy to talk about it afterwards. But Ms. Keene will start. Do you have any opinions? Or
yes, I have a very strong opinion about the vaccine mandate if it's come down. And I know financially we're in a very tough position in North Merrick because we have no commercial real estate. It really hurts us when it comes to budgeting. And the masks, I understand financially it's a very hard position. If the vaccine mandate comes down, we absolutely, personally, I think we absolutely have to fight our hardest to go back against the state for so many reasons. And as a board, I think it's our duty to the children in North Merrick to speak for them, because I absolutely cannot go along any type of vaccine mandate, if it means cutting off funding or not, or whatever it is, for lots of reasons, but I can absolutely not go along.
Ms. Miller, I mean, I don't want to, if anyone else says anything, I don't want to go.
I think the council has never allowed us to be polled as a board, and so I'm not going to answer. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'll just express my
You
opinion.
don't have to call, I mean, I
No,
just
it's not
public
poll,
comment,
yeah,
like,
just-
you know,
Yeah, like I said, I
to
will,
voice their opinion.
I will
Sure.
fight the mandate. I will not get my kids vaccinated. So that's my.
Well, I'm not gonna speak personally about my children, because I think as a board member, my personal belief should not be, you know, my children going into what I'm gonna do as a board member, but I will say, I do oppose a vaccine mandate for the children. I would think that we should join with other school districts at that point, another board, because, you know, at that point, our resources to pool together, I think would be stronger. Right now, I don't think this is an issue. It's not, it's not happening right this moment. I'm going to defer now to anyone else on the board that would like to give any opinion or.
I don't agree with mandates. I don't agree with vaccine mandates. That's my personal opinion. I don't think anybody should tell anybody something to that body that they don't agree with.
I also do not agree with that. So I mean, I think.
You didn't
Heard the
write
board
the
spoken.
task, so.
Oh, okay. William, Luciano? And if we have any other public comment, if you just start a card and bring it up.
Hello,
Good evening,
everyone.
welcome.
How's it going? This is kind of a follow-up on what Ms. Stahl was just talking about. And it seems like there's a general board sentiment against mandates, but I don't think there's a general board sentiment against mandates in general. So I just want to point out that on October 27th, Governor Hochfield said that the possibility of a school vaccine mandate was on the table, and that if she saw infection rates going up, she would have no choice but to implement one. And as hopeful as I am that that's not going to happen, we all know what happened last winter. And on last November 7th, 2020, the 7-day average of daily new cases was 2,590, on its way to over 16,000 by January. On November 7th, 2021, the 7-day average of cases was 4,239. So 1,649 cases higher this year than it was last year. So, you know, I think that it would be unwise if the board is against mandates, as it seems that you've professed so far, to treat it as a moot issue because it hasn't been implemented so far. When, you know, we see the likely path of what's going to happen. And it's very encouraging to hear everyone say, like, I'm against mandates, I don't want a mandate, all this stuff. But what I would like to know, and I know Ms. Miller said that you're not allowed to hold the board, but what I would like to do is ask that you hold the board to see who on the board would support, or I guess would be inclined to acquiesce to a mandate if they were to cut off for funding, if one is implemented and we don't follow it, or who would be more inclined to, you know, pursue a lawsuit or option support or whatever that may be.
I don't think this is appropriate to speak about this right now. Our counsel's not here. I'm not going to talk about entering a lawsuit and binding the school district in a lawsuit right now when there's nothing to go into a lawsuit about.
I'm just asking about personal opinions.
Which I think we just went around. I don't know what the hostility is here, but I do think that we have just polled the entire board, and every person except Ms. Miller, who did not express an opinion either way, so you have the majority of the board, did just mention that we are all against the vaccine mandate. I don't know what else we can do at this point.
There's no hostility at all. And like I said, I'm very encouraged to hear everyone saying what they said. And I support you guys, and I think you guys have done a great job. But what I'm asking about is, like, beyond saying I'm against it, because I think a lot of the people here were also against the mask mandate, but decided, perhaps wisely, that the better course of action was to let the lawsuits play out and for us to continue to do what we've been doing.
at no cost to the district and to continue. to
Right,
have
so
our
perhaps
students in
wisely,
person.
this is the
Right.
correct thing to do.
I stand by that 100%, that was the right
Sure,
thing to do.
I think if a mandate actually does come out, you have to kind of look at and see what the penalties are. There's a mask mandate under those penalties per day per child that, it just couldn't afford. So we have to see what the mandate is. And like I said, I will fight it as hard as I can, and I will have Tom look at the state and say, listen, if the state's gonna give us all this funding, how much the state does give us funding, but to a point they implement, we have to do all this stuff for all the students. How much are we actually making out with that funding that the state gives us? They give us $4 million, but we have to spend $5 million based on all their regulations. So that's something we can look at as well.
understood. And thank you. And for parents as well, thinking about what we're gonna do with our kids, if a vaccine mandate comes across, these are things that we're trying to plan for now as well. So I just
No,
think
I
that,
100%, I agree. I mean, I have a student here at Fayette, at NAMS. I understand wholeheartedly, about, it should be a parent's choice decision, and I believe that personally and ethically. But again, as a fiduciary duty of the district, we have to take that into consideration as well. And again, like I said before, I think a mask mandate is different than a vaccine mandate. I think it's a different, it's a different animal. So I think we will be discussing this in the next meeting for sure. I mean, it's not going away, I agree. We see the path of what's been going on in the past year and a half. And Neil or someone else who's offered can appear that night at the next meeting. But we will, and we're going to put it on the agenda for unfinished business. We will give an update and, happy to discuss it when we have also our entire board here. But no, I know it's a very, it's an issue that's front and center right now. So, and we're discussing it before. It's something that, it's on our minds, and we are with parents on this, and I think, overwhelmingly, you have the support of the board, and we're going to do the best we can, and we're going to work with, the State Department of Health and the Nassau County Department of Health, and hopefully this, we won't have to do anything. Hopefully this will not become a mandate, because I think the overwhelmingly feelings going on in the county, in the state, the parents don't want this mandate. And if you just, put on the news, the parents don't want this for the 5-year-olds and above. So I think this is something that we will definitely be speaking about at the next meeting. If a mandate does come down, I can assure you, I will ask for a special meeting for the board to discuss our next action. We will not wait. So if something's going to happen between now and December, we will get a board meeting together, public board meeting together, and we will definitely see what action we can take and go from there. So, this is not something we're pushing on to the next board meeting. We're on it, and we're going to see what our options are.
thank you. I
Thank
really
you for
appreciate
bringing
that.
this to our
No
attention.
problem. And I'll go sit down now, but I just want to see if there was any update, further update on the possible mass optional plan that I understand was in the works as of the last week.
Thank you.
The mask optional plan, which I did distribute to the Board of Education, the plan, the big obstacle on the plan, and I think I mentioned this at the last board meeting, is until the quarantining and contact tracing portion of the mandate changes, mask optional will most likely cause most of our students and our staff members to be at home. If most people who arrive, if we were to go mask optional, we wouldn't have the protection of the protocols that are in place now for quarantining and contact tracing. So instead of being a full in-person school, we would definitely be a hybrid, and the more people that were mask optional, we would be more remote than in person. So until those pieces change, the mask optional plan will change what our schools look like right now.
One more public commenter tonight, Rosemary Garofalo. Come on down. If anyone else, if they'd like to speak, just bring your card up now. Good evening.
Hi, everybody. First, I just want to thank all the board members. It's very fitting that I'm here for Board of Education Week. My children went through this district and the Merrick High School district, and I did lots of volunteering, like running Fall Festival and some of the other things you mentioned, PTA leadership positions, but I never would give up my time the way you guys have, even though I had been asked to run for the board. So I really want to thank all of you guys, because I do realize how much time and effort that you put in. It is a thankless job, particularly with what's going on now, and you don't get paid for it, and you don't get to be home with your family. So thank you. I just wanted to comment on the mandates, kind of for the same reason I commented about this stuff at the high school district meeting. I do believe that most of what I'm hearing is misguided and misdirected. And I'm going to preface it by explaining that I have triplets, for those that don't know, and one had a very bad educational issue that if myself and a small group of parents had not decided to attack the issue head on in Albany, where it's supposed to be addressed, it would have never changed. My son graduated high school because me and a small group of parents continually drove to Albany, addressed the Board of Regents, addressed New York State Ed. So to go further, I don't know if everybody understands that a mandate is a law. It's put down by the state. Your Board of Education and your district can do nothing about it. Now I'm going to put on my taxpayer hat. I pay taxes in these districts, and if I find out that our districts are wasting money to deal with things that should be dealt with at the state level, I promise you I will go out and notify all other taxpayers in district that don't have children. It is absolutely unacceptable to use money that is supposed to be used for the children in the district to fight something that cannot be fought at this level. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to follow up on that. As we've been mentioning, we've put numbers up a few times. Our Senator Brooks' phone number, our new governor, her office, the New York State Department of Health. That's where I'm going to urge parents to contact, because that's where these mandates are coming from, just as our Scarafolo righteously told us. So again, we're not, if you feel so strongly on an issue, I urge you to please contact your legislators, people who make the laws. I'm going to remind everyone again that we are happy to be here. We are not complaining about the time that we give. I read the Facebook posts. I see everything. No one's complaining about anything. We are happy to serve all the members here. Like I said, we are every day we're discussing different issues, talking to Dr. Siniak, and we're proud to do so. We're happy to do so. We do it because we love our students. We love the schools here. But please, please contact your lawmakers and your elected officials, starting from the county to the state, and that it just helps. It just helps, and that's where you can make a difference. We are going to do the best we can, obviously, and advocate for the students in the appropriate manner. But again, if you contact your legislators, we can't make laws here. So, all right, we have no more public comments. Oh, we have one more? All right, sorry. Thank you. Oh, Ms. Baraki.
Yes. We don't know that, yes, she had 2 cards.
You may not like what I have to say, but anyway, I was wondering if you have any kind of a program to educate parents on the safety, from the health department and doctors in that field, on the safety of the vaccine. Is there anything, because there's a lot of misinformation that has built up. And you know what, I'm hearing this, I'm just surprised, not to hear this. There's so many parents that are fighting so hard to put their children in unsafe situations. My son is a teacher in New York City. My grandsons are only not even 3 years old. And they have to wear masks. They have universal pre-K, 3 and 4 year olds in the city. And I thank God, because one of my twin grandsons has a respiratory problem. And he gets on the ventilator. He's already at a young age has been to the hospital 3 times. If I had known that he was going to a school where the teachers are not vaccinated, not mandated to be vaccinated, and they're not mandated to wear masks, I would hate to think that my grandson could die. And I'm hearing this around, and it doesn't make sense to me. These masks are proven to save lives. The mandates are proven to save lives. If you all remember where we were a year ago and what the mandates have done, and that's just my opinion. I'm sure there's a lot of other people that share that opinion, but I am very much concerned for my grandson and other children in this district that might have the same respiratory problems that my grandson has.
Thank you. And this is an issue that people feel very strongly about on both sides, and both sides have to be listened to and happy to listen to. And also, we have to make the right choices for all students and staff to make sure that we have a safe environment. I just want to mention, I asked Dr. Siniak to mention the poll regarding the vaccine survey.
Yes.
Just mention that in case there are people that are not aware of that.
So just pull it up.
Sorry, we're gonna spot.
That's all right. So all superintendents received a request from the New York State Department of Health to complete a school district vaccine survey about 2 weeks ago. We had very little time to complete it. According to the memo that accompanied the survey, the purpose of the survey was to gather information about efforts in school districts to vaccinate students, including ages 5 to 11, once eligible, so this was prior to that. The memo concluded with vaccination is a key public health strategy in ensuring safe school operations during the 21-22 school year. That was a quote. Basically, an outline of the questions I'll give you. We had to give our district name, I had to give my name, phone, email. And the first question was, does your district intend to host a COVID-19 vaccination event for children aged 5 to 11 this school year? My response was no. Next question, has your district hosted a vaccination event for children aged 12 to 18 this school year? My response was no. Then they gave us a true-false question. They mixed it up a little bit. There are existing locations in your school district to get vaccinated. And for example, pharmacies, urgent care, doctor's offices, etc. I said true. People can get vaccinated. The last question was, once vaccinations for children ages 5 to 11 are approved and become available, does your school district intend to issue communication to parents, guardian about the importance of COVID vaccinations? My response was no. Most superintendents that I spoke with felt that this survey that was thrown upon us, we all basically had the same answers at that point in time. In speaking with the board, the consensus is parents should make decisions for their children and consult with their physician.
Maybe we should start with that before public comment. Okay, so my fault. So before we end public comment, Ms. McKish, I'm not sure if you had 2 cards. I'm not sure.
Are you really called for agenda items in the first one, right?
I mean, do you have anything else to say? So I'm asking.
Actually, I do. So
all right, so come on down.
Get it all out now. Thank you. I know you normally separate it, so. I guess it kind of it leads right into what we were just talking about, because my question is almost rhetorical, because how does the district incorporate every person's views and opinions into the district? And really, you can't. I mean, you're going to have to make a decision one way or the other.
But we do, I just want to say, we do, and we will be doing you know, if it need be, parent surveys, I mean,
I know you did a survey in the past.
We have to
I
pick
don't
up
think-
on them in the past.
And I don't know what percentage of the school families actually
We
responded.
have, all- I mean, we have.
Yeah, I can,
I know,
it's,
I know you had some of it posted.
Yes.
As to what percentage, and it was not a very high percentage of the schools that, the families that actually responded, so. But just to get to my question, I know you all had an opinion, or most of you had an opinion on mandates, but then if you're saying that you would fight the mandates, you'd have to get the kids remote, because there would be immediate action if there was sort of like a time frame to do things,
I
so.
think, I disagree with that. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
We don't know
Right,
what
you
the
don't know,
implications
and you don't know
would
what
be.
the implications are,
So I don't think, I'm not gonna say that, I don't think,
Right.
it's-
So
I think it's
everybody
not to say
stated that
that just because we fight something that they're gonna go along. I don't think
Of
that's
course,
accurate.
and I think
Again,
that.
this is the one time we don't have our council here.
No, I just want to finish, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is until you know what the circumstances are, I think Mr. Crowley mentioned that, some other people mentioned, until you know, you really have to make that decision at that time. You know, I think that you can't expect everything to align with everybody's beliefs, and it's like nearly impossible. But I also wanted to say that really, you know, we don't want to have a single story at these Board of Education meetings. There are a lot of people who are very content and like what's going on right now, and they're not here to complain. Not everybody here is complaining. There's a lot of complaining going on out there, and there's a lot of us versus them, and it's a very bad vibe to have in the community when you're saying you're not with me, you're against me. When people come up here and force you to give an answer, I understand that you're elected and they want to know where you stand on an issue, but it's a hypothetical at this point. So, you know, just to make my point, I see a lot of attacks on the trustees. I see the threats online, vote them out. I think the board should state at every meeting the role of the Board of Education, which I know you started to give a little bit. I think it would go a long way to explain to the district families. Rosemary also mentioned it, there's a lot of fights that are taken here that have no place here. So I just want to say, that I was going to come up here and just say thank you to everybody, but because of some of these other comments, it really makes me take pause to say, you know, you need to make sure you're representing everybody, and that the fights that you're taking to a higher level, the people that are here should take to a higher level as well. Maybe you are, but to come here every night and to be sort of like, I feel is aggressive as well. I just want to say what I really came here for. I'm proud that our children get an excellent education here. I know the value of our teachers and our administration. The board can't implement everybody's opinion on how to run the district. There are standards and requirements that are not decided at the district level. And there are committees and opportunities to make suggestions and ways to be involved rather than stand here and sort of make, you know, sort of a demand of you. And I think that's kind of rude. What my taxpayers' dollars pay for is a district that is fiscally sound, thank you, Mr. McDade, and a school that's recognized as a school of excellence. Our district actually has been a role model for in-person learning. Just like I say at the Belmar Merrick Central High School District, we've had graduations and full festivals, and we see how the district has done the very best it can under extreme circumstances. And I think we should remember that when we come up here and speak, that there are certain things that you can do, you do them with excellence, and that we appreciate that. And there are certain things that you can't do. And yes, you may have to take legal action, but when that fight comes, again, I just hope that you listen to all the opinions and not just the one story that comes to the microphone that time. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, following up on that, I'm very proud of our track record here, especially over the past year and a half. Part of the board here, all the decisions we've made, I believe that we have made sound decisions in the best interest of the students. We have healthy and students and staff, and we're providing an exemplary education, and that's the most important part, and we've remained open. And so I'm going to leave it on that note, and again, I'm going to just thank the parent, thank you for coming. We can have difference of opinions and my fellow colleagues, but at the end of the day, we're going to do what's best for the district. You know, we might have our personal views, but at the end of the day, we can put those aside, and we're going to do what's best for the students. And on that note, I want to get back to our business here. I can have a motion to approve 6A through 6G. Motion by Ms. Moran, second by Vice President Mello. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. A motion to approve the part of personal actions report as detailed in the mailing. A motion approved by Ms. Miller, seconded by Mr. Crowley. All in favor? Aye. Unanimously approved. Motion to approve our special education 8A through 8C. Motion by Merrick, second by Ms. Miller. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Motion to approve policy 9A. That's written in the agenda. Motion by Ms. Miller.
Second.
Second by Mr.
First
Miller.
reading was when
The first reading, right?
we opened this.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I jump it? Hold on. I'm sorry, we don't need a motion to approve this tonight, right?
We're talking about policies.
Policy,
Yeah.
okay. We provided, policy sheet, we provided that, right?
Right,
Yep.
Ms. Long, we provided it, correct?
This is just,
Yes.
this is just a notification, we don't need a motion.
No, this one, it's a one and done.
One and
Oh,
done,
we need
One
this,
and done.
okay.
Right.
It's state mandated,
yes.
Wait, no.
state mandated, and we need to increase, the expense of one of our services.
Right, our independent evaluation, cost in the policy is $4,000. Due to increase in fees, you cannot have an evaluation done for less than $5,000. So in order to be able to do that, so we had to increase the fee.
The motion's on the table. Sorry.
So we're gonna pass a policy that we're not gonna discuss?
No, we can,
No, I just want.
actually, I'm gonna ask Mr. McDick, can you explain?
Which policy?
Transgender.
Gender
Sorry.
We're talking about 5147.
That really
We're talking about 5140.
The,
Is that the first reading?
Is this-
or-
Joanne, 5140?
the gender neutral signs on the bathroom.
51. Which one do you want to know
I
about?
like 5140.
40.
It's not for-
The policies are actually available. Do you want me to get?
No, is
Can
it
you
the first
can you
reading of the
give us
policy
a
or is it
summary
we have
of-
to approve it?
I have summary on the record of the policy.
5140, the independent evaluations, educational evaluations.
No,
No, gender neutral bathroom.
It's required by law that we have gender neutral bathrooms.
Signage
Signage.
on the bathroom, that, either
Okay,
male
so
or female.
Maybe we go through the school and figure out what bathrooms would be gender neutral?
Yes. Mr. Carter did that with me. We went through that. And we were preparing for this because we knew it was coming down as a law. So we were pretty ready for it when it was sent to us to change policy
Okay,
Does
that's-
it affect?
as soon as we pass it. Pretty much,
We have to have that.
we have to, it's a law.
Are these group bathrooms or just standalone bathrooms?
They're standalone.
And so what's the sign then? So is it gonna be a female and male or is it gonna be a male?
You know what the signage looks like, exactly. We went back and forth on this. The signage, what it looks like.
It's half a man, half a woman.
We didn't, which one did we go?
I haven't.
No, we
Single
went with the,
Single occupancy.
Yes,
old
single-
single occupancy.
That's all we did.
So it's always kind of.
It's always been gender neutral.
Just now we got to identify it. So,
You're gonna spend a few $1,000s.
Well, the signs, how much was the signage?
Yes, the state.
I want to say it was about $1,500.
Yeah. And which sign did we decide? We had a choice that, well, you and I made a choice. Can't remember what the sign exactly looked like.
It just says gender neutral restroom and it's got a picture of a female shape and a.
And a male.
shape.
We didn't do the other one. There was one that we were not happy with. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We went very simple.
New York City has a different rule and
Yeah.
that's the one that a lot of people chose to use and we got a lot of backlash.
Yeah, we did not go with that. We just did a skirt and pants.
Right.
Two different.
And we confirmed that that was acceptable before buying them.
Yes. And there's single occupancy.
Any other discussion on the motion for either 5140 or 5147? Okay. There's a motion on the table. Is all in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. 9A. Moving on to the report of our committees, our high school report. Ms. Miller?
Yes, okay. So, to report on the high school level, all three of our high schools held Spirit Week, homecoming dances, trunk or treats. They crowned king and queens of homecoming. all the things that, students love so much about their schools. Also, the one-to-one tech initiative is completed in the high school earlier than it was supposed to be, so that's fantastic. And they celebrated 6 years of the community covered, which feeds over 140 families in the Belmores and the Merricks, which is really quite amazing. We're able to care for those who are less fortunate. I just want to also talk about the sports championships, which were many. Callan Boys and Girls Volleyball, their championships tonight and tomorrow. Callan Boys Cross Country is going to the state championships. Medford Football is in the semifinals at Hofstra. And the Belmore Merrick Girls Swim and Dive team competed in Nassau County Championships. And they finished as runners-up this season. Unfortunately, they lost to Manhasset. But I'm not going to read all this. A lot of people scored. A lot of Belmore Merrick girls did incredibly well. I should be very proud of that. And that's my report.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. The School Community Relations PTA Council.
Okay. Well, first of all, from the board, and speak to the board to say thank you so much for all of your generosity shown to us tonight and for the presentation and the library donation. So we're very appreciative, very happy to be here. PTAs, again, from the board, are just all incredible. I'll start with STEPTA. November 15th is World Diabetes Awareness Day. Wear blue for that day. Their virtual Halloween bingo and costume contest was very successful. They had 32 families participating, and it was the most widely attended virtual event. But as Dr. Seniak pointed out, every month it seems to be the most widely attended. So they just do incredible presentations and fun activities. November 22nd is the virtual parent presentation at 6:45. There'll be someone talking about Life Back, which is the choking, education, and awareness. 7:15, there'll be Claire Swanson will be using social stories for behavior. They have a fidget poppet fundraiser that started and doing well. The Santa Drive-By will be, sign-ups will be coming up the end of this week, I think, or after Thanksgiving. At Fayette, well, for Fayette, Camp, and Old Mill, the fall festivals were incredible. I'm trying to go quick because I know we're all tired and just want to go home, so I'm just going to start speed talk now. But the fall festivals were incredible across the board, and such appreciation from everyone for custodials and security staff and all the employees and everyone who made it awesome. It actually felt normal, which was a great feeling to have. Fall festival was great. The students decorated pumpkins and playing games for Fayette. Their winter breakfast will be held on Saturday, 12/4. They had the dance on the 29th. That was a huge success. They had raffles and provided donated to-go treats for the kids. The next PTA meeting is the 17th in person at 7 o'clock here. The pie sale began on 11/3. Pies are coming from White Post Farms, and it ends 11/15, so get those orders in. And they can be picked up on the 24th of November. Their holiday script fundraiser started. First orders are due on the 7th. Their Amazon Smile fundraiser is up and running. Fayette has a ton of fundraisers. I'm just going to read a lot, so definitely check it out. Their Reflections program wrapped up yesterday. The PTA donated lots of classroom books to the teachers of Fayette as a thank you for all their hard work. So, and just some questions that were answered. Camp Avenue had their outdoor yoga for Ribbon Week. Mad Science is coming for an outside showing on the 10th for grades K through 3. TP TED is coming on the 24th. For first grade and the 29th for fourth grade. Their next PTA meeting is also on the 17th at 7:30. They just ended their grade shirt sale, and Camp Avenue Spirit Wear shop will be open for another 2 weeks. The holiday boutique is for the 17th with a rain date of the 18th, and hoping to hold it outdoors
as of right, if that's possible.
Oh, yeah, if you don't mind, the PTA presidents are going to be talking to their principals about, because of the time of year, if we can hold it inside in a larger space and modify it where it may last a little longer so less children are attending it at once. So they are in discussions with their principals.
Right, and obviously weather is coming into a factor, and the setup for those holiday sales is intense and very time consuming. Just they'll be taking pictures. Red Ribbon Week was a great success, and where am I? There's for the sixth graders, they're still collecting baby pictures, hobby pictures, and all that good stuff. Old Mill Road, again, great fall festival. PTA was very appreciative for the volunteers. They worked very hard, especially with the hay and finding the body parts and then having to get the hay back. So, but the kids loved that fall festival and the Halloween parade. Mrs. Ward looked incredible. She was a princess with high heels. And she had to do the loop twice in high heels, but they all looked
Like stole.
yeah.
Wing stole.
All the teachers looked incredible. Mrs. Black was Mary Poppins. I've never seen such a great resemblance to a Mary Poppins, but they all did an awesome job. The kids were so happy to be back. We're doing fundraisers, cookie dough, Spear Aware, the online box cards, which is a big hit and a great one. The outdoor book fair did really well. It was a beautiful day, and so that was great. And the holiday boutique, we'll see what happens. The mum sale went very well. We have a family from Atlantic Nursery who owns Atlantic Nursery, and it's a great fundraiser for us. So we're so appreciative to Atlantic Nursery. Planning, the PTA is planning for outdoor assemblies until the weather gets too cold, and then resume outdoor assemblies in the spring. And picture retake was today. They did 6th grade kindergarten pictures as well. Everyone's doing a great job.
Thank you, Merrick. Building and grounds, you're up. It's a tough act to follow, I don't know.
Yeah. Not much left.
All I have is the old mill. The playground is back online. Thank goodness, after a couple of days of horrible rain, they were able to get it done, and the kids are enjoying it. And I watch it like a hawk at night. We can't have anything happen again. And with that, we also just installed the fence and gates. Is there any question?
No, just on the playground. I don't know if everybody's aware of what happened at the playground. Maybe you could explain to them what happened, and maybe if you get a chance to talk to your kids, especially the older ones, about what they do in the playground, because I think this cost us, how much did it cost us?
Well, thankfully, our incredible insurance company, NYSER, covered a huge portion of it. So it cost us our $5,000 deductible, but it was a $39,000 purchase. So it cost $40,000. So what happened was some kids were drinking overnight in the playground and smashed bottles, which contaminated all the rubber fiber. You can never get that glass out because there's no way to ensure that every piece of glass has been, taken out. So we had to scoop every square inch of it out and put it in a dumpster and buy 24 massive bags of new stuff and have it installed.
And the saddest thing, Mr. Carter, is that our children lost time on the playground.
First day of
lots
school,
and lots of open, when school opened. So that was the worst part.
Yeah, for anyone. So with that, we installed a fence so that we can now lock the property overnight, so that kids aren't, just strolling into the back like they have for years and years and doing whatever they want. Now there's a gate, it's signage, and a little different just walking past the sign that says school closes at night or at dark versus jumping the fence to actually, trespass. So.
Mr. Carter, that'll be open in the daylight hours.
Absolutely, yeah. It's
it's getting dark at 5, but the trouble really starts later in the day. So you'll keep that open.
And we do have cameras.
And security.
We have cameras, we have security.
But people who want to walk their dog, or just go with
walk
the
dogs.
No dogs on property. Really?
Want to take your kids to the park?
We keep the gates open. We do. Yes. We keep the gates open until most of we keep an eye on programs, because if there's basketball, you can't lock them out. So this is a unique situation in where the gate is between one of our main entrances. I'd rather not have kids going to basketball all the way in the back of the building through the front entrance, so we have to keep that gate open for access to the building, but then shut it at the opportune time to prevent the mischief.
And the next PTA meeting, that gate will be open so that
Oh,
again,
yeah.
we're not walking through. So
Yeah, for aftercare, we
just
keep it
gonna be
open.
aware, yes.
I was watching it because we really just finished the gates yesterday, so I watched it last night, and I watched kids coming and going for some different activities, and then the custodial staff knows to lock it at a certain point.
And we talked about it, Dr. Seniak mentioned, it's gonna be open for sleigh riding.
Of course.
Of course, it's
That
gonna be.
was the primary concern when we did this. When we drew out what it would look like, what did we say?
So,
Alex, all right, be honest. He said no, I said yes, I want.
I'm Scrooge, but I didn't walk in my. I don't want any snow.
Yeah, no snow.
How about that? Yeah. We
There you go.
skip snow.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh,
Carter.
thanks. All right. Any communications?
Yes, we received 3 communications. One was about unmasking students, another about building news for Girl Scouts, and the last one was the 3rd grade class size of HCF.
And they were all responded to?
Everything was responded.
Any unfinished business? Any new business?
We're missing Ed, so I don't know. I wanted to bring up the yellow cards, which I brought up years ago as.
Well, I made that motion and lost that, my first board meeting, but okay.
But I don't know, is this a discussion? I don't know if I bring it back next time for new business.
I think because
Discuss
it's
the
new
yellow
business
cards.
and because Mr. Corona is not here, we should put it on the agenda for the next board meeting. I'm happy to do that. As long as that's all right with everyone, to do it.
Okay. I'll put it on for next one.
Yep. I think we have discussion and then.
Thank you.
It'll be under unfinished business.
Great.
Since I didn't have my usual
Oh,
superintendent's
sorry.
comments, no, that's fine.
Sorry.
There were two people I would like to recognize. First of all, our board president, Megan Ryan, who was awarded a leadership award at the Women's Influence and Power in Law Awards event, which was sponsored by Supreme Court Historical Society in Washington last month. So thank you for representing North Merrick, because I know you speak about us while you're out there. And our kindergarten teacher here, Ms. Sheila Kushner, I'd like to congratulate her for being selected as a recipient of the 14th Assembly District Women of Distinction Award for 2021, presented by Assemblyman David McDonough this past Saturday, November 6th, at the Merrick Golf Course Clubhouse. Congratulations.
Motion by Ms. Mead, second by Riley, all in favor. Have a great night, everyone. Have a good week. Enjoy us.
I like the socks.
Thank you.